one of the guy was saying that people are now like in the base that they want to buy the next luxury item, next luxury car.
Yeah.
Where the true, like the real power is to gain that silence.
Yeah.
That silence in your mind.
Yeah.
Once you have that, you have everything.
100%.
And that's pretty much meditation.
And that's what we're all chasing, right? That silence, that peace of mind.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to the Mind, Body, and Spirit podcast. I'm your host, Itairon, and on this podcast, we discuss ways to develop ourselves in mind, body, and spirit with different guests specializing in different fields from all walks of life. Enjoy. Hi guys, welcome to the Mind, Body, Spirit podcast. I'm your host, Itairon, and today we have Viseh. How do I pronounce your last name?
Alaitini.
I did my best to do that.
Okay, that's fine.
And she is a meditation expert to a degree and was away at a retreat. What was the name of the retreat?
It was a Vipassana 10 days of silent meditation course.
Silent meditation.
Yes.
So for all our viewers, I'm just going to list out some benefits of meditation. We all know meditation is beneficial, but I'm going to give a little perspective for all our viewers. So literally just gaining a new perspective on stressful situations, building skills to manage your stress, increasing self-awareness, focusing on the present, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity, increasing patience and tolerance, lowering resting heart rate, lowering resting blood pressure, and improving sleep quality. So that's a lot, huh?
It's a lot, but it's all doable.
So tell me, where have you felt the benefits of meditation in your own life?
Definitely like just having more energy throughout the whole day and having that clear mind, like knowing exactly what I need to get done and not like second guessing myself and just doing it.
That's amazing. So like you find that the perspective change is more what that gives you, right?
It does, but it definitely does take time. Like you do need to practice it on a daily basis. I always say even if you can do it for 5-10 minutes, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I find that when I meditate, I'm only well versed in mindfulness meditation, focusing on the breath, mostly what you practice in the retreat when we spoke earlier. I found like sort of a peaceful sensation, that resting heart rate sort of sensation, but I wouldn't find a change in perspective. Do you have any tips for those that like want to focus more on shifting how they see the world rather than just that moment of meditation?
Well, like the way that I kind of do it, sometimes I just do like a general meditation. I just focus on my breathing, my body. That's good. Sometimes if I have like a specific issue in life, I start my meditation by phrasing that issue. So I sort of ask for guidance from my God, my angels, and then I state my issue, and I just get on with the meditation. And I usually do that like at the nighttime, because I meditate both in the morning and at the nighttime.
Okay.
So I do the nighttime, and I usually get my answers in my sleep.
Gotcha. So you're focusing in the nighttime. You focus on whichever problem has arisen for you in the day, and in the morning, what would you mostly focus on when you're meditating?
Just getting my mind clear.
That's the one.
And
that's
staying clear for the whole day.
Yeah, that's the meditation I practice as well. That clearance meditation. So tell us about the retreat. Tell us from when you arrived to when you left. We'll get into the details after, but try to summarize for the viewers.
Okay, so let's say the retreat starts at Thursday. You go in on Wednesday evening. You do your registration. And then on Wednesday at 8 p.m., that's when the noble silence begins. So there's no more talking, and they have the schedule set up for you like in every corner. It is a pretty much of an intensive schedule because you do have to be up at 4 in the morning. Your first meditation is at 4:30, and you do 9 to 10 hours of meditation daily. And you just don't talk. You go to sleep by 9:30. You get up the next day at 4 o'clock.
They feed you, right?
They do feed you. They do feed you. However, you do not have a dinner.
Really?
You have your breakfast at 6:30, and you only have like 45 minutes to eat something. And then your lunchtime is all vegetarian, which was very amazing for my body. But for your supper, it's only fruits and tea at 5 p.m.
I see.
So your stomach is pretty much empty from 5:30 to like 6:30 the next day.
Did you feel any intense hunger?
Always.
Always. Well, did that make it hard for you to meditate?
It actually makes it easier for you to meditate.
Really?
Because if you do eat a lot, your body just gets numb and you just can't focus.
Interesting.
So that was a mistake that I would say all of us did at the beginning. Like we would have so much lunch and then like in the midday your body just crashes and you just
Yeah.
can't meditate.
Yeah.
So they like make sure you don't eat as much as you usually do eat.
So here's a question for you, because
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that, especially if I'm learning something, now this is separate from meditation, but if I'm learning boxing or if I'm learning a new subject or whatever it is, I like to converse with my teacher to make sure I have a complete understanding of what I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
Did you find it hard since you couldn't, were you able to speak to your meditation leader, or I don't know, your sensei teacher, I don't know what it is?
So yeah, you do. So because this meditation was like both male and female together, but we're like in two separate areas. So for the female side, we had two teachers that you could talk to if you have any questions.
Oh, okay.
So for the whole day, the maximum you would talk in is like maybe 5-10 minutes, and that's only with the teacher. And then every other day they would take like a group of 6 of us, and we would have like a group session just to make sure we can understand all the technique,
Of course.
because it is a very different technique.
So elaborate on the technique in the retreat. What sort of meditations were you focusing on?
So in this retreat, it was only about breathing. So because the way that you breathe is the one action in the whole body that you can control it. Like I always say, it's both the voluntary and involuntary actions. So if you can focus on your breathing and like regulate it, and then through that you can like observe your whole body. And I don't know if you believe in this, but I do believe the fact that everything around us is a vibration. Our body is a vibration. So through the whole breathing, scanning your body, you could actually feel the different vibrations in your body.
And,
Like if you were joyful, if you had a different vibration, if you had like something going on,
and were
tense,
you
it was
able
a
to
different
like
one.
reset the vibration? I don't know how to sort of like address that sort of theory, but were you able to change what vibration you were feeling at the time? So even if you were sad or lonely or whatever sort of emotions I'm sure you had as you were in the midst of the retreat, were you able towards the end, as you got a better understanding on the technique, to change it, to recenter yourself?
The point wasn't to change anything.
Just to
The
go
point
with
was
what
just
you're feeling.
to kind of accept what's happening and know that everything's going to change.
And was
Nothing in life is permanent. Everything's changing all the time. So I can tell from my own experience, like I would do the scan from my head to toes. My vibration would be something, but I would go from the head to the head, from the toes to the head. It would be completely different vibration.
So
Because nothing is the same.
I like what you said about like accepting change. Everything is constantly changing.
And it's just
that's hard
getting
for a lot of
okay
people
with
to
that.
accept. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find that you learned that during the retreat, or you were better able to accept that fact, or was it more you already understood that premise, went into the retreat just to get deeper understanding of it?
I would say I knew that fact like on the book level, but in the retreat I actually got to feel it.
I love it.
Because it was totally different. And I told my teacher, I'm like, I now know like the different emotions that I go through, where they get stored in my body. So I told them, I'm like, when I'm scanning my feet, that's all my fear. All my fear gets stored in my feet. All my angers get stored in my arms. So I could break it down like that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So there are many styles of meditation, correct?
Yes.
All right. And this one was mostly focused on breathing and mindfulness meditation. Are you aware of other types of meditations that you can elaborate on? Sort of like the chakra meditations, right? Like those kind of ones? Or there was one that I remember, I took a Buddhist philosophy class when I was in school. And meditation, as far as I understand it, originated from the Buddha, right?
Yeah.
When he was coming up with the philosophy of basically non-permanence, and that we have to accept that we can't have attachments in this life, or that will continue the reincarnation cycle. And meditation is an aid to let go of your earthly attachments so you can reach nirvana and basically stop the reincarnation cycle. And he developed this meditation as a start, right? And then it's changed over the thousands of years into all the ones that we know, and the ones that most health experts enjoy is mindfulness meditation. But do you know any other meditation styles that you particularly enjoy?
So what you just described right now is a meditation that I was practicing at the retreat. It was the one originated by Buddha. Before that, the meditation I would do, it was through chakra meditation. That's the one I'm very familiar with, and that's the one that I had different type of crystals at home for each one of my chakras. And they told us, do not bring anything with you. Just go with what we're teaching you. So in that sense, it was a little bit different. because I kept comparing the two meditation together.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I had to just be open to this new technique.
I love it. And that new technique is the one, actually, like I said, right, most beloved by health experts, where they do sleep studies, and they do, I'm trying to remember the one they do magnetic resonance imaging, they do heat kind of tracking to see where everything's going when you're breathing, what's focused on the lungs, what's focused on the mind, how the heart rate lowers and elevates, how your blood pressure lowers and elevates. And it's funny to me to think about thousands of years ago, they were just, sitting there trying to contemplate the meaning of life, came up with this style, and they already knew the health advantageous things to meditation without anyone teaching them. Right now, I find that in our society, we want to watch videos, we want to read books, we want someone to tell us what is right and what will help us instead of finding our own way. And I find that meditation is just something that helps guide from an internal perspective, from your own self. But did you feel that as well?
Well, I find like for the modern days, it's you're always looking for somebody else to tell you what to do because you're just so distracted. There's too much information outside. Where like back in the day, there wasn't any of this stuff. There was no social media. You could actually just reflect inside. And I do believe like anything that you're dealing with, you have the answer within you. So that's what the meditation is good for, because you just look inside and look for that answer.
100%.
And one thing I should say, like for this retreat, there were a couple of requirements. Like first of all, you could not have your phone with you. So on the first day, they took your phone, your wallet, your keys. You couldn't have any books or journal. So you were literally just either meditating or just like walking in the different trails.
Yeah. What was the dress code like in the retreat? Was it like monk clothing?
Well, we did have one monk with us in the female section.
Really?
The dress code was extremely modest. So that was like the one thing I had a very hard time finding it clothes for. Nothing distracting, nothing revealing the body, no leggings, no shorts. When you're sitting down, your pants or skirt has to cover your knees. You cannot show your shoulder. Obviously no cleavage. So very much like baggy t-shirts and baggy pants. That's how to do it.
Yeah, no distractions, I guess, right? For the male participants. That's the whole idea that they were going for, right?
That's the whole idea. Like even in the lunchroom, there was a wall between the man and the woman. So you couldn't like look at each other. You don't get distracted.
What was the average age? And you said there was 90 people, 90 to 100 people on this retreat?
It was 80 to 90 people.
And was there an average age?
Well, they do have a course for the teenagers. So anybody like 13 to 17, like young adults, they will have their own course. The one that I did is mostly just adults. So I would say 25 to up to 70.
Interesting.
Will be. And the interesting part is like one of the guys, like when I saw him outside, he was actually blind. And he was taking the course.
Really?
So he had another guy guiding him where to go, but he was fully blind.
Have you ever heard that like old myth legend about like the blind samurai? Where like every sense he had was heightened because one of them were off? So it's
I
like
haven't heard of it, but
it's like it's like Japanese folklore about like this samurai that was blind. I think it was even in the era of Miyamoto Musashi, which was like the most famous samurai of the Ronin era of Japan when they didn't have lords to serve. So samurai would basically do what is called a warrior's pilgrimage, and they would travel and face each other and train, not just in swordsmanship, but also in like art and philosophy. That's what it was called, right? And there was a story about a blind samurai. I'm not sure if it was true or not, right?
Hey, we can find out.
Right? But yeah, but that just triggered that for me when I heard. Yeah, blind man doing the retreat, huh? It's interesting.
Yeah, it was
very interesting.
interesting.
Tell me about the rooms. What were the rooms like? Like, what did they look like? Comfy,
oh, like the rooms that you stayed in?
Yeah, they were staying in bunk beds.
So there was one residence for the man, which I believe it was 2-story. There were 3 residences for the female. So the residence that I was at, there was about 8 of us. But because of the COVID, like you wouldn't share a room with anybody. But even if you did, like you would have 2 beds and like a curtain in the middle, so you could not talk to each other. You had like washroom, they would be like sharing with other members. But because everything in there is donation based, like the whole facility, the whole ground was a gift to them. the
Do you know
teacher.
from who the donations came from? No?
They don't say because they don't want people's ego to get too big. It's all about like grounding yourself.
Yeah.
So like the teachers, it was all volunteer. The people that were serving us food, they were all volunteers. They would actually join us for the meditation after.
It's incredible.
And on the last day, they would assign you different tasks to just get the whole.
Do you know how long this retreat has been going on for? How many years they've been offering their services?
In Ontario, I'm not too sure, but I know they have a place all around the world.
Amazing.
There's a place in Vancouver, Quebec, US, Europe, everywhere.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Earlier on in the episode, you said if you weren't meditating, you were trail walking. There was trails on the retreat. How were they like? Were they very scenic? Like, what did you see on these trail walks?
I'm not sure about what you mean, what I saw,
like,
but
was there any like very breathtaking views, or was it more just woods and grass? Like, what was the trails like?
It's interesting you say that because I'm such a nature person, so I absolutely love the trail.
Yeah.
It was a very good walk. It was like big enough for you to clear up your head, but not big enough for you to get tired.
Yeah.
So the scenery was beautiful, like big trees, lots of wildlife. So I would get distracted by wildlife, and there, like, I had like a snake like walking in front of me, and I'm just like, okay, you're so beautiful. I'm like, yeah.
That reminds me, I was hiking on Fraser Island. That's in Australia, or off the coast of Australia. It's an island like 70% sand, but there's some woods there. And there was a giant anaconda just like slithering across, and we're all just like, oh my god, we're losing it, right? All the tourists are just losing and getting scared, and the Australian guys are like, oh, they're not gonna hurt you. I can't do that. I can't do the accent. Oh man, that's beautiful. So very nice scenic walks and strict rules. So if you had an emergency on the retreat, were you able to call somebody?
Yeah, because we had 2 teachers and we also have like 1 manager. So the manager was available to you like 24/7.
And
like we'll be in the meditation halls. You had problem, you step out of the meditation hall, the manager will be right behind you, just to check up on you to see what's happening.
Was there anyone that required an emergency call during the retreat?
I believe there were 2 people because they came from the management office in like a little cart and they took them away. I don't know exactly what happened. They did come back to the course. I'm like, I don't know what happened. they came back.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh man. And when the retreat was said and done and you were leaving, did you find it hard to get back to regular life?
It was. I definitely did not want to talk to anybody. I did not want to get my phone back. I'm like, I don't want my phone. Just take my phone with you.
Poison.
Yeah, it was poisonous because I was so addicted to my phone.
And everyone is.
Like every single day, like I would come into my room. I'm like, where is my phone? Let me just play a music. Then I'm like, oh, I don't have a phone. So it's like really like experiencing life in the most simple basis.
And that's why they say like that we're in the Matrix sort of thing. And I saw your story when you were about to leave to the retreat. You said goodbye to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Well, because like, right now I'm following like a couple of different individuals and
If that's the thing, and that's amazing because social media can be used for benefit. If you follow the right people, if you follow the right pages, and you surround yourself with positivity and knowledge, social media is a tool for connecting other individuals and elevating us, right?
Exactly.
But used in the wrong ways, it is our own destruction or our own, I don't even know how to put this.
It could be your own enemy. It's all about like, learning how to use it.
Learning how to use it for your own benefit because so much is going on where it's self-promotion, right? Everyone's just, I'm having the best time ever, my life is amazing, everything's amazing, and then we're on social media like, oh, I have to work today, or oh, I have to do something else, my life is terrible, my life sucks, and we get into this comparative sort of strategy of thinking where we're always comparing ourselves to others, and that's just wrong, right? So this is like a nice break that you took. Would you recommend it to everyone else?
I would recommend it to every single person. And also on your note about like comparing yourself with people, before I come here I was on my TikTok. Now my TikTok get all filtered. Like there's so many people that I want to be like that are flooding my TikTok right now. One of the guy was saying that people are now like in the base that they want to buy the next luxury item, next luxury car. where the true, like the real power is to gain that silence.
Yeah.
That silence in your mind.
Yeah.
Once you have that, you have everything.
100%.
And that's pretty much meditation.
And that's what we're all chasing, right? That silence, that peace of mind.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing.
And just one thing to point out, like meditation is, when I talk to people, they're like, oh, I can't just sit down for like half an hour to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fine. Just get into your car, just drive.
Yeah.
But don't turn music on. Just be with yourself.
That's the premise, that you have to cross your legs and go, oh,
Yeah.
like breathe in and out and have to be in a peaceful atmosphere in front of a lake or in front of an ocean and just relaxing. But you can meditate
That's how
wherever
it's
you are.
represented, yeah.
Yeah, that's how popular culture shows it. But you can meditate wherever you are,
Wherever you are,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
You're in
amazing.
the TTC, just
Yeah.
put earplugs on and just meditate.
There you go. There you go.
I've done it so many times, so.
Oh, I'm trying to do it.
Wait, just be careful
Yeah.
nowadays. Yeah.
Sorry.
Just be careful.
Okay, that was a nice introduction to meditation with Viseh and into the retreat that, pronounce it again for us. What was the name of the retreat?
I call it Vipassana. I know some
Vipassana.
people say Vipassana.
And where is it located for our viewers if they want to check it out? Where are they doing this retreat? Northern Ontario, no?
It's Northern Ontario. It's on Egbert, Ontario, very close to Barrie. And
And
also,
and they have options, right? It's not just the 10-day retreat or the 15-day, right? They have 3-day retreats?
so for the new people, it's always a 10-day retreat.
Okay, always.
Because you do need you need to figure out the whole technique.
Of course.
Once you do the 10 days retreat, then you can sign up for either the 20 days, the 3 days, or 1 day. But here's the catch. If you go back, the rules change on you. Once you go back, now you don't have dinner anymore.
Really?
It's only breakfast and the lunchtime. You don't have the privilege of sleeping on the bed, so you have to sleep on the floor. So they make it harder. Just kind of expand your comfort zone.
So they're trying to go to the old premise of Buddhism, right? Which is get rid of all your earthly attachments and you'll be happier for it.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's incredible. Okay, guys.
I would say do it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It's really not that hard. Talking is not that hard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're talking to a podcast host. I don't know.
It's really easy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll go with you to the next one. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We want to have you back again soon. And for all the viewers, we'll attach all her socials and anything where you can get information towards Viseh so she can help you on your journey. And thank you for tuning in. Take care, guys.
Thank you for having me.